Allegedly.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm the only one here just today because this is just a short video clip because we're going to be covering the Murdaugh madness coming up soon. Chasing Truth's been really busy trying to juggle, currently with an injured daughter and Scott still being, not feeling that well. So we're just trying to figure out our time frame. But we're going to be coming on tomorrow to discuss the Murdaugh case at I think, well, really early for me, but 8:30 in the morning my time, 11:30 East Coast time. I've been covering the Murdaugh case on my channel since the shootings of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh back in June, and then it's just so much craziness. So it's going to be one of those things where all the YouTubers, the Chris Watts types, the ones that just kind of glom on to anything that's popular, they're going to be coming on, but we're going to do it in the most factual way possible. And the thing is it's very it's very complex, and there are really good chances that it could be a conspiratorial. That's what's odd about it. Normally I'm not a big conspiracy theorist type, but it's hey, look at that, there's Chasing Truth right there. All right, so let me just throw this we're going to do a timeline tomorrow, and then we're going to start off with an individual named Stephen Smith who was killed back in 2015, and there are associations with the Murdaugh family there. Very bizarre circumstances around his death, absolutely crazy stuff, right? And so let me move over to, so I'm just going to show you this right here. What do we got? Any good comments? All right, there you go. Yay, tomorrow. There's Chasing Truth here, but on my way to a virtual meeting. All right, so this is the org chart that I made a few months back, maybe, I don't know, 3 months ago or so. And what you have here is this Murdaugh dynasty that have been living and running basically the Low Country in South Carolina. It's like this multi-county range. I guess we'll have to go get that exact location range of counties there. But we have Randolph Murdaugh Sr. all the way through Randolph the third, and then there's actually Randolph the fourth right over here. But these three guys here were the prosecutors from 1920 till 2007 in that area. So they have their fingers and everything. They know all the law enforcement officials. They know the lawyers. Like, for example, Richard, I guess it's Alec Murdaugh. If you don't say Alec Murdaugh, you don't know it. I guess you don't know anything about the case. You can't call him Alex. You can't call him Alec. It's Alec Murdaugh. Okay, everybody? We were all told that. So this guy right here was part of a law firm that was started way, many decades ago. And that's Alec Murdaugh. I'm going to call him Alec, though, because I don't really feel like saying Alec. It just doesn't sound right to me. So I can do the Alec. All right. Yeah. And this guy, let me just go through this right here. So you got all three of these, 1920 to 2007, they were the prosecutors. And, notice that in the title, it doesn't say Summer Wells. So instead of having 800 people watching, you've got 100. Isn't that sad, everybody? Yeah, I'm going to call him, just call him Alex then. It doesn't really matter. Alex Murdaugh. But make sure it's Murdaugh, okay? And so Alex here has two brothers, John and Randolph here. These three people ran for 87 years, the prosecution, all the law enforcement, everything going on. I mean, especially from the legal side. And then you have Alex right here. He is a part-time prosecutor. And just as a quick overview here, in 2015, Stephen Smith was killed on a road near where the Murdaughs live. 2018, Gloria Satterfield, a maid for Alex Murdaugh, was killed inside the house. Like, she, quote, fell down some stairs. And when she fell down the stairs, she died. And then Alex jumped in and said, hey, you know what? Why doesn't my law firm or previous law firm cover Gloria Satterfield? Oh, and by the way, they win $500,000 and 120 or 170,000, I think, of that money went to the law firm. And I'm sure he got a little kickback from that. So he actually, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he profited from the death of Gloria Satterfield. Then in 2019, Paul Murdaugh right here, this is just a quick overview, we're going to do a full timeline. He was, drinking like a maniac, and he and about, I think 5 other people were on a boat, maybe 4 people, I can't remember, I think there was, maybe 5 or 6 people on the boat. And they're just drinking and boating. They stop to get more drinks, and then he's just absolutely wasted. People try to take over driving the boat from him, but he would have nothing to do with that. He just wanted to just keep driving and drinking. And I mean, his name, they call him Timmy. And I think it's based on the South Park character when he drinks. He's a redheaded, just a nightmare. The red hair had nothing to do with him being a nightmare. All right, but he just looks like Timmy from South Park. And so he is a nightmare for the entire family. He ends up killing in that on that night while he was driving that boat drunk. Mallory Beach was ejected from the boat after it rammed into a bridge, and they couldn't even find her that first night. The family members of Paul Murdaugh, all these lawyers like Randolph III, Alex, they all rushed to the hospital really quick after Paul was brought there to make sure that he didn't give a blood test. I mean, they were all over that. So he never gave a blood test. Lawsuits were filed, and then just recently in June, Paul, right around that time, he was supposed to be in court. And then he and his mom were killed on their property, a hunting lodge area. It's actually a large house with some hunting, dog kennels and so forth. And we'll show all this on the maps and everything. And they were both killed with 2 different guns. Apparently one of the guns was one of their guns, and the other gun is an unknown gun. That was in just recently in June. And one of the main peoples of interest was actually Alex here. And then guess what? Just like a week ago, Alex is driving down the road, and he says that his car got a flat tire, and somebody pulled up next to him and shot him. And it shot him, tried to shoot him 8 times. Somehow he was just dodging around like a gymnast, and somehow a bullet hit him in the head. And then he was life-flighted to a hospital. But it turns out it was a little grazing wound. And somehow the helicopter that took him there showed up before even police were even at the scene. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy. And then he gets taken to the hospital. He wakes up in the hospital. And guess what? What would be the first thing that any of you would say when you woke up in the hospital? You would say something like, man, I hope they catch the guy who just shot at me. Maybe he's responsible for shooting my wife and my son. But that's not what he did. He said, you know what I'm going to do? He gets out there and he goes, I'm going to resign from the law firm that I was just in. And I'm also checking into rehab, everybody. Because that's the first thing you would think about at that moment. Yeah, so there's just a lot of craziness in this case. A lot of details, and there's just corruption, stuff going on, absolutely wild. Lots of there's surveillance footage out there. There's 911 calls. We've got all of that stuff. Okay, and Charleston Amy up there helps out a lot, sending in links. She basically lives there, has tons of, newspaper subscriptions and whatnot. So there you go. So we're going to start covering this one tomorrow. We're going to go through the timeline. I just kind of gave you like this, 40,000 foot overview of it. But we're going to start covering it tomorrow, and in the morning I'll be probably, going like this. I'll try to get up I'm going to set up the show I'll probably set it up tonight, so it's just everything's ready to go. I just hit play in the morning or something. But I think, did you create a timeline? I have another timeline written out somewhere too, on a slideshow. I think Chasing Truth did one. But it's a really absolutely crazy case, everybody. And we're going to be, I think you had one. I don't know if I saw it all the way, but there's a whole bunch more to the timeline that I have written out. I don't know if you want me to send that to you, but there's just tons and tons of crazy things that happen. Let's see. There's a person that does a podcast named Mandy Matney, or Mandy. Did I say that right? Madsen? Mandy Madsen? My brain isn't working right now. She's from Fitz News. She's been covering it the whole time. A really good newspaper outlet there. I have a subscription to that one. Yeah, apparently it was their own gun. Crazy, huh? Yeah. So, anyways, you guys, that was all I was going to say. It was that tomorrow we'll be starting to cover that, but that just sort of gives you a little bit of information to, to kind of digest and think, wow, what else is going on here? So we'll just start it from the beginning. Hey, thanks, Claudia Neubauer. Oh, see you later, Chasing Truth. All right. Yeah, Matney. That's right. That's what I thought the first time. Yeah, so it's Mandy Matney. She's on Twitter, too. She's kind of pretty funny. Sarcastic. Yeah, there's just tons and tons of details. And believe it or not, you guys, there are other cases out in the world other than Summer Wells. I see right up on the screen right there, there's only 163 viewers. And the problem is whenever you talk about something other than that case, people go, yeah, I want to go watch The Psychics now. It's crazy. It's weird. But we're just going to keep doing what we do. And if you guys want to watch, you'll watch. If you don't, you won't. Okay? So there you go, everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow at probably, it's going to be 8:30 in the morning. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna have to get up a half hour early just to sort of shake off the cobwebs, because I do a late show and I'm not really ready to sleep till 1 or 2 in the morning most of the time. But I'll try to get to bed earlier. All right, you guys. See you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, we'll see you tomorrow, Chasing Truth, and see all of you guys tomorrow. And until next time, be safe out there. Boom.